Hey guys, welcome back to the Marissa Fact. Today I have a close friend of mine. Her name is Embry. Some of you may already follow her on Instagram. I'm super excited to have her here. We're actually reconnecting after several years in person, so I'm really excited to share this conversation. But Ali is a talented musician. She sings, she's a yoga instructor, she is super connected and intuitive with her body. I met her a million years ago at a place called Stretch Zone, and she helped me with my inflexibility at the time. But I've come long way since then.
Yeah.
So we got to talking again a million years ago, and we just had a connection. Like you just meet these people along the way, and you're like, "Oh, I get you." And we've kind of just stayed close through social media, and you really mostly just do it social media and seeing each other out every now and then. And then this past year, Ali kind of went through her own health journey and she's here to share. She also has a very strong presence online. She has a very funny persona on her Instagram and her TikTok. People love engaging with her on there. She's built a huge community through her journey of her breast cancer journey. She shares that online and she shares it with her viewers and the people who listen to her. And she just really built something so strong. And I'm so excited that you're here.
Thank you.
Yes.
Excited to be here.
Me too. I'm excited to have you. I'll give you the mic. All right, Ali. So, thanks.
No, I just want to make sure it picks up.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. We're having microphone issues. So, Ali, I'm so excited you're here. But let's talk about a little bit about before your the diagnosis, what all the things that you've done. So you've been into music, right? You write songs. You've also been into yoga. How did all of that come about? Because I remember when I first met you, you said, and at that time I think you were 21, so you were already young then.
Gosh, that was a while ago.
I really feel that way. So then I feel like you were really young, and I remember you saying, "I've always been this way." So I kind of want you to share some background on who you are as a person, as like a childhood little girl.
Yeah. First of all, thank you for having me here. I'm so excited. Okay. Well, I'm a very multifaceted person, I guess. And so music, I started singing when I could talk, basically. So I've been doing music and acting too since a very young age. And yoga, I really was drawn to yoga when I was a little kid. I remember my mom had those old school, remember the VHS tapes? My mom had one of those. It was like a yoga tape, and I remember doing it when I was like 6, 7 years old, and just being drawn to yoga, and having like instances as I was a child, spirit like weird spiritual like instances, and just knowing that I don't know, I was very like in tune with my body, my intuition, and having almost like little like psychic like slight psychic energy, if that makes sense, growing up. Sorry for all the sniffling, guys. I'm super bad allergies. So yeah, that's kind of how everything got started. And then when I was 18, I really fell into yoga, and became consistent with it, and became a yoga instructor when I was about 21. I remember I was teaching at the time that I met you. And yeah, I haven't really been teaching as consistently the past few years because I started working like a proper 9 to 5, but then I haven't been working the past few months because when I got diagnosed, I was working first and then it just became too much. And that's where I'm at now. So I'm currently jobless and searching for jobs. I still teach yoga a little bit part-time to private clients. But yeah, I'm just kind of at this like in between stage of my life.
Yeah. So, I know you're not practicing yoga, but I do believe that yoga is kind of like a lifestyle. You just live and breathe it. So that's one thing that I was like, I took away from like meeting you that day. And I'm like, wow. And you always said like, my mom was kind of always like this. So I guess like she's a yogi too. Was she not?
A little bit, not as much as me, but a little bit.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I just remember that because I remember you said, I don't know. And I was like, oh, cool. Because I probably didn't get into yoga till I was older. So I was like impressed by somebody to know themselves so well at such a young age. I really
Oh,
was. I was like blown away. You knew like all the body, all the muscles, the anatomy, how it moves. So it's just been it was just cool to learn from you. But in the past recent year, I know you want to talk a little bit about like the diagnosis
yeah.
because you have been so brave and courageous in sharing your journey
Thank you.
through social media, and it's helped people. And I don't know if you know that. Like I know you know that, but I don't like people are talking off social media about how much they've helped you because I know I even have a friend that follows you and is like admires your strength for going
Oh,
public and sharing it just to help be somebody that somebody could feel inspired by or know like okay like I could pull through this. So if you could just talk about that and like was there anything you had to overcome in going public when you were facing something so strong?
yeah. So I think I knew pretty much right away that I wanted to go public because I already was on TikTok and like liked sharing, and like I even had a podcast too for a short period of time, as I told you before. So I liked sharing my life. But there have been times, and there still are times, where I'm like, am I going to turn people away by sharing? Like, for example, I'm looking at jobs right now, and I'm like, I put all my social media on private? I don't want to put it on private because I
Um,
want
I get
other
you.
young women to like that are going through it to find me to connect.
Mhm.
And it's not about, oh, I want more followers. Like I want, it's that's not what it's about. It's about connecting with people, right, and
Mhm.
helping people. Like that's I feel like my true purpose in life is to help other people while just being my creative self and living my best life.
Mhm.
So sometimes I'm kind of like, oh, I don't know if I should share this story. I don't want future jobs to find me online and then be like, oh, we don't want to hire someone that's shares everything online, etc. So I constantly try to like find that balance. Um, but yeah, I pretty much knew right away that I wanted to share my journey because I knew that it was going to help people, and it's such a big part of my life. And although I'm at the end of my journey, it's still gonna my life will never be the same. It'll always be with me. Um, so yeah, I mean, I can get into like when I was diagnosed, and if you want me to like give the
Yeah,
background.
if you feel comfortable, you would love
Yeah,
that.
yeah, sure. So I was diagnosed August 1st, 2024.
That's crazy. August 1st is my birthday.
Oh my gosh.
So weird.
Great day for you, horrible day for me.
Wow. Holy crap.
So I, okay, so to give everyone and you a little bit of a backstory, and I have shared this online, but I knew that there was a lot of cancer on my dad's side of my family. My family and I have known that for years. And then fast forward to maybe like 5 years ago, my sister was diagnosed with breast cancer. My mom also had breast cancer, but she didn't have to go through chemo and she's fine now. My sister was diagnosed though at like age 30, and I'm 29, so almost the same age. And 30, and to
Wow.
someone who's in their early 20s, 30 may seem old, but
But
it's really
it's
young
really
to be
young.
diagnosed with breast
Mhm.
cancer. So when she was diagnosed, they did genetic testing and found out that she had BRCA1, or positive for BRCA1, this genetic mutation. And I've heard of the gene before. Actually, someone at Stretch Zone, I remember, was telling me about it when I was talking about my mom's breast cancer journey at that time. But so once we found out what the gene is, you basically have a really high risk for mainly breast cancer and ovarian cancer, but there are other types of cancer it increases your risk for. Excuse me. But yeah, so we then found out that it obviously came from my dad's side. We knew that. My mom had genetic testing too, and everything was normal there. So we knew that I had a 50% chance of having the gene. So I got tested and I had the gene. So since then, I've been doing scans every 6 months. So I alternate between an MRI and an ultrasound. Not mammograms, because mammograms, you if you're young, you have usually have dense breast tissue, and mammograms have a harder time reading that. Plus, mammograms are radiation, and it's best to not expose yourself to like constant radiation, obviously. Um, so yeah, I didn't have any symptoms. I didn't feel the lump. It just popped up on my routine scan. And they at first were like, oh, we want to do a biopsy, which at first, so I had an MRI, and then they were like, we want to do an ultrasound and probably do a biopsy, which to me didn't freak me out because I've had multiple biopsies because I'm so high risk, every little thing they take seriously.
Mm-hmm.
But this time felt different because when I went in for the ultrasound and they said they wanted to do a biopsy, they were like, we need to do it as soon as possible. And I could just tell that the way that the doctor was talking to me that it was like actually serious this time. And I had just started a new job too. So I was like, how is this serious because I'm high risk, or is this serious because it looks bad? And she said both. And I was
Wow.
like, does it have blood supply? Because I knew that if something has blood supply,
It's like
it's most likely
faster, right?
cancer. And she didn't say yes, but she didn't say no. She was like, we need to do a biopsy. So I just like started crying because in that moment I was like, fuck, I have cancer. I just knew it. Um, so yeah, and then we did the biopsy the next day, and then a few days, maybe 2 days went by, and in within that time, I pretty much started processing the fact that I had cancer because I just knew. But of course, I was like hoping and praying that it wasn't. And then I found out, and then a few more days go by, and I found out that it was triple negative, which is the same kind that my sister had, which is arguably the most aggressive form of breast cancer, but it responds well to chemo. So I knew, and my sister went through this, and my sister's fine now. She's like 5 years out. So I didn't think that I was going to die, and
Mm-hmm.
I knew that it was caught early enough. I was on the cusp of stage 1 and 2.
Okay.
But obviously, when you find out you have cancer, it rocks your fucking world. I'll
Mm-hmm.
say that much. It just was, I just immediately was grieving my life pre-cancer. I knew that my life was never going to be the same. I knew that I was going to have to go through chemo and probably lose all my hair, which I didn't because I cold capped. And I am so glad that I did that because it helped me to retain a sense of normalcy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I shared that journey. I've been sharing it really, I've been sharing it all on TikTok mostly. Um, but yeah, that's kind of
It's
the summary
crazy.
lately.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. I can't, I just can't. Do you feel like you were always so healthy your whole life probably, so even like post cancer you were always healthy and in tune to your body, so when you said you knew, did you ever feel sick or anything different, or was it just something that you were just getting the screenings and that by everybody's reactions, because I know you read people's
Yeah.
body language well, is that what made you feel alarmed? Like, was your body giving you any signs that, like, I don't know, maybe it needed to slow down or anything different, like on appearing on the body?
Um, yes, actually, like I say that I had no symptoms because overall I didn't, and to the average person, like I really didn't have any symptoms. But I remember there were a few times. I remember in like April, which maybe is when the cancer started growing. I remember just thinking like, because even though I've always been quote unquote healthy, like eat clean, I'm very active, I would drink a lot. Like I did drink a lot throughout my 20s.
Mm,
And by a lot, I don't mean multiple times a week. It usually would just be one time on the weekend, but like I guess it would be considered binge drinking because I would like often get drunk, just having fun, you know, with my
yeah,
friends.
yeah,
But then like I just started getting really bad hangovers, and I'm like, this is not what I want to be doing every weekend. I don't want to
right.
just be getting drunk every single weekend. So around like April, I remember I like made a list of monthly goals, and I was like, I really want to slow down and focus on my health more and drink less. And I remember, so that was like kind of one thing. And then I remember I got these, I woke up one morning and I had these like bug bites on my face, just like such a random thing. I think it was like a spider, like two spider bites. And they took forever to heal. Like
Hmm.
normally my skin heals really fast,
Mm-hmm.
but it took like a month for this wound to like close
Hmm.
on my face. And I was like, why is my body taking so long to heal? And I just remember thinking like something is off in my body. And I knew that I was I was actually behind on getting my breast scan, and I didn't like immediately think, oh, I have cancer, but I was behind on my breast scan because I was having issues with insurance. For whatever reason, my insurance was like trying not to cover it, a typical like insurance issue. But I remember thinking like, watch this be the one time like that I'm having an issue with this with insurance. Watch this be the time like that I something actually comes up and I have cancer. And I remember thinking that, and I'm a big believer in like manifestation. So I was like, stop, don't like put that out there. But I did have like a few thoughts that popped up and be like, watch this like actually be the time that
Yeah,
something is
yeah,
like
yeah,
up.
yeah.
So like in a way, I did feel like something was off, but I didn't really have symptoms.
Right. I
Yeah.
get it. Yeah. Wow. And thank you for sharing about the whole drinking because when you're in your 20s, you are young. You that is still being a kid. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So like there's nothing
You are a kid
selfish or
still.
taking advantage of your time because you're growing up and you're finding yourself. I mean that's what I did my whole entire 20s. So it's not abnormal. But there has something to say about the fact that like you are in tune with yourself and you were like something's wrong and like this isn't because I think a lot of people a lot of times when I'm talking with people they're not in tune with themselves and they were out
Yeah.
drinking and they're not touching base with like
Yeah.
how their body feels so like your emotional strength was already like strong then to identify that, you know what I mean? um so as you started to kind of share that your story with the your online community, did you feel because you were before the breast cancer you were still documenting and like vlogging? I feel like you were always posting funny videos
Mhm.
like that made me laugh and stuff. You're very authentic online and I love that about you. Like I really do feel like you're supposed to be like a Tyler Cameron, like a with like a out there, like everybody knows Allie, because you're not afraid to like show people who you are, and there's not enough people like that out in the world. So, um, when this all happened and you got the diagnosis, you didn't slow down much on social media, which I admire you for,
I
and
sped it up actually.
I think so. I
Yeah.
felt
I
that
started
way to
posting
me.
more.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
felt that way to me, and I wanted you to, if you can, expand on that. Like, did you see your community growing, and like, were people reaching out, and what was some feedback? Because I know that there are other people that face cancer, young too, and like, what are
Yeah.
some stories that?
Yeah. So I remember when I posted my first video just being like, hey guys, I have cancer. I knew that I would have, people that I knew and people that I didn't know that followed me. I knew that I would have people reaching out, saying, I'm so sorry, I'm here for you, yada, yada. But I didn't think it would be as much as I got. Like,
Hmm.
I really had so many people reach out. And it's interesting. Cancer shows you who your real friends are because I had people that people that I didn't know or people that I like barely knew that sent me really, really nice messages. And I remember that. Like I'll always remember that. But then I had people that I was once really close with, like within the past 5 years or so, that didn't reach out at all ever. Not that I
Mm.
expect something from everyone, but I just was like, that's kind of interesting that certain people just never
Yeah.
really reached out.
And not to cut you off at all,
No.
but I saw you wrote something, and I thought like people are really shitty. And you said like to all the people that ghosted me, and I'm like people are ghosting. I can't stand people who ghost in general, but to ghost somebody who's being like honest and raw on the internet, like saying they have cancer, you ghost that person. Like what is up with that?
Yeah, well, I was just like, again, like I post things with humor, and that wasn't throwing shade towards anyone. But again, there were a few people that I was once close with, like not that long ago, that I'm like, oh, it's just I'm alive, like just letting you guys know, like I didn't die. And I did have like a little bit of a friendship falling out, and was ghosted by she was one of my best friends, so that also kind of was like hard to deal with. But cancer makes a lot of people really uncomfortable, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people think that cancer is a death sentence, and it's not,
Mm-hmm.
um, especially when it's caught early. But
Mm-hmm.
going back to what we were talking about before, I started to just have more of a following on TikTok, and that's like, as I said before, where I share most of my journey. And I started to have first so many comments and messages of other survivors, specifically triple negative breast cancer survivors. And that was really important because, and anyone who's listening who's going through it or has gone through cancer, we hear so many negative stories, especially when people are like, when you tell someone, oh, I have cancer, or, oh, I had cancer, they're like, oh my gosh, my aunt had that same exact cancer and she died. It's like, okay, what am I supposed to do with that information? And at the same time, it's like you can't be upset with these people because they're just connecting in the way that they know. But at the same time, it's like sometimes I just want to be like, shut the fuck up. Like,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
honestly,
mm-hmm.
because it triggers you, and you don't want to hear about people dying. You want to hear
No.
the survivor stories.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say to anyone who is listening and doesn't have cancer, if you meet someone who says that they're going through it or that they went through it, we don't want to hear those negative stories.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I heard a lot of survivor stories, people who are years and years and years out. So that was really comforting. And then I started, as I continued to share my journey and like each step, finding doctors, starting chemo, going through chemo, what my symptoms were, side effects, whatever. I started getting messages of other young women, specifically in triple negative breast cancer is usually young women with the BRCA gene or without the BRCA gene. A lot of women saying, thank you so much for sharing. This has made me feel less alone. And also, one of the first things that I did when I was diagnosed was go to social media to see other people that were going through
Yeah.
it because I needed to feel
Yeah.
less alone. So that's also another reason why I was like, I really need to share my journey because I know how much it's helped me and I want to help other people be comforted the same way that I was comfortable. There's a specific girl, actually, Layla. I forget how to say her last name, but she is a triple negative breast cancer survivor. And finding her page on Instagram and TikTok really, really helped me. So I was like, you know what? I need to continue to share my journey and drop the stigma also that cancer is a death sentence. And I knew that it was going to, potentially affect future jobs. Like I said, future dating. I was in a relationship when I first was diagnosed. And then it ended not because I had cancer. It just wasn't right. And I didn't want to drag him through that if
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't,
Yeah.
serious about him. Great guy though. But I was like, I think this is probably going to freak some men out because it's not just cancer, it's breast cancer, like
Mm-hmm.
boob cancer. This is one of the most
Mm-hmm.
feminine, physically, one of the most feminine features, if
Mm-hmm.
not the most feminine feature of my body. I knew that it was going to freak people out, but I'm like, you know what? That's okay. Then they're not for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I still sometimes with dating, like I was on Hinge for a while and I was like, I don't know if I want to just put it out there or do I not want people to know at first. And so I'm still kind of navigating that all. But the people who are meant to be in your life are not going to run away. That's how I
Yeah,
truly feel.
100%.
Yeah.
I also think like if a guy is gonna run away over something like that, I mean, I don't even think they're worthy of even being
Then
a
you're a little
friend.
bitch boy,
Yeah.
is what I have to say to that. Grow
Yeah, like
up.
get
Like,
out of here.
and also people are, everyone in their, everyone at some point in their life is affected by cancer. It's sad, but cancer is so common. Like you're going to at least know someone with cancer at some point in your life. So, and one of my breast cancer survivor friends actually said this. She said, everyone is going to experience this in some way at some point in their life. It's just happening to me when I'm really young. And I was like, that's so true because a lot of men are, young men are maybe freaked out. Oh, do I want to date a girl who's had cancer? But as you get older, there's more and more of a chance of that happening to
Mm-hmm.
you or to someone that you're dating or to a family member. So it's like at some point, it's sadly, it's so common.
So common. Two things.
Yeah.
I I had a friend who fought cancer, beat it,
Yeah.
and one of the things she said
Lymphoma,
to me,
right? Yeah.
lymphoma, yeah, and one thing she said to me was her mom said, "You take care of your body so well, it's going to show up for you now because now it needs to fight," and I believe it did, and I think the same for you. So it's like I'm not gonna. fall victim to the breast cancer diagnosis because you are strong. You're strong mentally, you're strong physically. You're conscientious of what you're putting in your body. I mean, you're like your own best friend, and like that's what is really valuable. So no guy that can't comprehend shit like that is worthy of your time. They're
Yeah.
just not. Um, the other thing is you talk about kind of finding somebody out there that already went through it and beat it, and because you look for strength in that way. I follow a podcast that's probably, honestly, they're a part of the reason why I'm even starting a podcast journey is because of like the content that they put out on their own podcast. But it's called Expanded by To Be Magnetic. Have you ever heard of it?
No, I'll have to listen.
It's so good, and every single week it's different. But basically, what their whole mission is like, you can manifest anything you want, any outcome you want, as long as you're around like the people that have done it. Like you have to see it to believe that it's true for your
Yes.
subconscious mind to know that I'm worthy of that. If they could do it, I can do it. But you have
Yes.
to like put it in your life. So I'm glad that you like instinctually just kind of knew I got to do this. I can't just surround myself with
Yes.
all the sad stories because we could drown in the sad stories alone.
Yeah.
The healthiest person could be in a sad room like that and just feel like they're dying as well,
Yeah.
just because it could just take you down emotionally. So you're so strong. I don't even think you realize
Oh,
how
thank
strong you
you.
are. You really are. But to talk about like that, the now, like to the today's moment, like how do you maintain that strength, or what are your day to day
Stay
like now?
positive. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you brought that point up because I've also gotten a lot of questions like, how do you stay positive? Because a lot of times I'm showing, my me being bubbly and humorous and laughing. I often cope with dark humor.
Mhm.
So humor has helped me cope. And I also have shown, me crying in a few videos on TikTok too, because I wanted to show the good, the bad, and the ugly, because it's not obviously like I generally overall I'm a very positive person and I know I'm strong and I know I'm resilient. Um, but I still have moments or days where I'm just like, fuck this. Like there's no other words to describe it other than
Mhm.
like fuck this, especially now I'm kind of at the end. I had my main surgery, I'm done with chemo, and I'm cancer free. There were no cancer cells left in my body after chemo. um,
Wait, not to interject, but one of the things you did post, you said, "I know in my body, it's out of me now." Like that's how intuitive you felt.
yeah.
So like you felt your body felt differently throughout the whole progress, where you kind of knew that day like I'm going to get a clean scan
Yeah.
today.
Yeah, and it kind of goes back to manifesting too. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, you can cure yourself from cancer with manifesting. Like, no, I truly believe in medicine. People are
Mhm.
like, chemo is poison. Yeah, it's poison. It kills the cancer though, and chemo
Mhm.
is tough. Chemo is a bitch, and I'm not going to lie, it was hell. It was
Mhm.
hell on earth. But I do believe in medicine, but I also believe in, your mindset. So, like you said, surrounding myself with positive people, positive stories. I searched for so many other people online that have been living years out from this. So, I would say to anyone going through this, you have to surround yourself with positive people that don't have cancer, but also finding people that have had it and they're doing fine. You really have to listen to the good stories. Do not look at all the percentages online of, oh, 20% of people, whatever. Like you have to think, oh, if you see 20% chance of it coming back or whatever, I'm just giving an example, 80% chance that it doesn't. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah, like look
And
at those
also,
odds.
the percentages online aren't even accurate because those are from studies that have happened years ago. So you also can't trust that because there's new advances in medicine happening every single day.
Mm.
But I would say also, when I was diagnosed, I immediately started affirmations every day. I would try to. Some days I would forget, especially with chemo brain, which is real. I immediately started the affirmation the day I was diagnosed. I am strong. I am healthy. I am cancer free. You really have to think and speak things into existence as if it's already happened. And like I would make jokes about, I would always like make jokes about like, oh, if I got a parking ticket or like something random happening, and I'm like, oh, I have cancer. Like they can't like I would definitely pull the cancer card sometimes. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because it's like, why not make
Yeah.
lemonade out of
Yeah,
lemons?
yeah, yeah,
But I really overall, but then I started saying, no, I had cancer because I immediately knew that, or felt at least, once I was diagnosed, once I knew that I had it, my mindset was helping me clear it out of my body.
yeah.
And I truly believe that my mindset and my manifestation was part of the reason that I'm able to get this out, because your mind really controls so much. And again, I'm not saying it's going to heal you, but you really have to have a positive mindset. And so, I've had a lot of people ask, how do you stay strong? Like I said, there's days where I don't feel it, but I always come back on top. I always come back out on top. And I'm also on anxiety medication. I can't lie about that. I've been on anxiety medication pre-cancer.
Mhm.
That helps me. Not to say that everyone should be on medication, but like I have to say, like, that obviously has helped me a lot.
Mhm.
Um, but I've also, everyone in my direct family has had cancer now,
Mhm.
including myself, which is crazy.
That is
My
kind of.
mom, my sister, and my dad. But because they all went through it, I kind of have had time to prepare. I've had a lot of fucked up shit,
Mhm.
excuse my language, happen in my life.
Mhm.
My dad died of cancer when I was 7 years old. So, like,
Mhm.
I have had a lot of things happen in my life that, yes, have created trauma, but have also made me resilient. So, I think that that all has helped me stay strong and
Yeah.
has given me my sense of humor with all the craziness that happens in life. So, that's kind of, what's created me and developed me as a person. But yeah, I would say to anyone going through this, the positive affirmations really help. You really have to, like you said, think it, feel it, believe it. Surround yourself with positive people. If you have someone that's negative in your life, or like a negative job or whatever, you really need to try and cut that out, because fighting cancer is such an emotional and mental process, and physically too, that you really have to take all your energy into fighting that, you know?
Mhm.
um, and also doing things that make you feel good, like, and you really start to appreciate the little things in life too, when you're diagnosed with a life-threatening illness. Just going out for a walk, feeling the sun on your skin, you know spending quality time with family and friends, doing things like that that are going to help you feel good, laying in bed and rotting sometimes with your pets and watching
Mhm.
Netflix, like stuff like that. You got to do what makes you feel good
Mhm.
you know
Mhm. Yeah. No, I totally agree. It the whole thing is so crazy. But I do feel like a takeaway I just got from what you said is take life seriously, but not too seriously. Like find humor,
Yes,
because
yes,
thank gosh you have a funny personality, because I do feel like that helps you, like, and it helps you connect with more people. It's like a
yeah,
further reach
yeah.
in connecting with more people. But I don't know. I mean, I admire you so much. I don't
Oh,
know
thank
if I
you.
could go on I mean, I was just telling Allie
It's
before
not for
we.
everyone, but
No, well, no, it's not. But I see the power in it. There is power in it, and I was just telling Allie before we even started recording. I was like, I gotta get brave and start talking into my phone and start connecting with people just to build up this podcast, because I want to see it grow, its community. And I'm like so shy. So the fact that you could do it, I'm like, yes, I gotta get her on. She's gonna help me break this fear of mine. But I guess you just gotta get moved past it, because I know for a fact, like I've put, I mean, my personal friends follow you, and they are like, wow, she's amazing. Like, I thank gosh
oh
she's
my
and they listen to
gosh.
you, like probably more than I watch your stories, because they have a reason to connect. You know what I mean? A little bit more of a reason to connect.
Yeah,
So like you keep doing what you're doing as long as you feel comfortable, because it
yeah,
is helping, and people need it.
yeah. It's lovely to hear that, because, like I said before, sometimes I'm like, I don't know if anyone's like listening or anyone cares. Like, should I, certain things I'm like, should I bother sharing this? But hearing that makes me like feel like, okay, yeah, I'm like, affecting people, not even necessarily people who are going through it, but just if I can help inspire people that are going through it, that are not going through it, that's the goal. And again, it's not about feeding my ego. It's not about getting more likes and more followers. I just want to have a positive impact on the world, you know? So
Mhm.
it's lovely to hear that because I'm like, okay, it confirms that I'm like doing the right thing, you know?
Yeah. No, keep following your heart. You're very, very authentic and it shines. It really does. Um, what would you say what's well, two things. Because I know you have another appointment after this. But two things. I want to know what life is like your day to day now. Like I know you're applying for new jobs and
Yeah.
stuff, but what do you do? Like, do you, one of your posts did say like, then that's it. Like, it's like cancer never happened. I don't have to go to the doctors every day.
Yeah.
Like, so what is life like that? And another thing, well, answer that one and it'll come back
Yeah.
to me.
So a lot of people think, you know, once you're done with cancer treatment, it's like, poof, that's it. Like, it's all behind you, which in a way I feel like that. But then I'm like, I have to now for the rest of my life think, oh, what if it comes back? And again, I live in the positive mindset that this shit is gone and it's never coming back. But I still have a little bit of anxiety and a little bit of
Yeah,
fear that it
yeah.
could, you know? But I basically day to day right now, like I said, I'm applying for jobs. I have a lot of post op appointments because I had my surgery. I have a weekly post op appointment with my plastic reconstructive surgeon right now because I had surgery, I think this week it'll be 4 weeks ago. And I have an oncologist appointment today just to go over my surgery results, which were that I had a PCR, which means no cancer cells left. So now I kind of figure out, do I get scans from here, like full body scans? Like, how do I make sure that, you know, I'm being monitored, you know,
Mhm.
to make sure for, you know, any risk of recurrence. But I try to keep myself busy. I try to do something every single day, whether it's make TikToks or I have like a lunch date with a friend, or I have an appointment. So I
Mhm.
try to not just sit on my ass all day because I don't, you know, I think I try to be productive.
Mhm.
I've been spending a lot more time with family too.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, that's mainly, and it's tough because I can't work out right now. I'm not cleared to really work out until 6 weeks, so
Can you
that's kind of
can you
like
do yoga?
not right
Oh,
now.
you can't even
No,
do that, even if it's like
no.
restorative.
I mean, I can like do some stretches with my legs, but like
Mhm.
I can't really like I can kind of lift my arms up now, but I can't lift anything heavier than 5 pounds. So I can't like I can't like do a plank. I
Plank.
can't because I just had a double
Yeah.
mastectomy. And then I have reconstructive surgery where I get implants exchanged for my expanders that I have in right now. I have that in June. Um, I'm planning some travel with my mom too, so that's exciting. I would say also planning, if you're going through this, planning something like a trip at the end of your journey is really good to help motivate you, and
Mhm.
also celebrating the milestones too. Like when I was a quarter way done with chemo, when I was halfway done with chemo, I think that's also something that is really, really helpful to anyone going through this. But I'm just trying to, you know, enjoy the free
Yeah.
time that I have now. I'm reading a lot more too. And there's also a book that I just read called What the Fuck Just Happened? A breast cancer's, I think it's a breast cancer's survivor's guide, um, by Jen Rosenbaum, I think is her last name. That's a really good book about basically just being like, so now what? And just navigating life um, after cancer, I would say. So,
Yeah. Wow.
next question.
Wow. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No. I know we're kind of coming up on our time, but
We have a few more minutes. You're good.
okay.
I'm not trying to rush you or anything.
I I did love having you. What would you Well, do you see yourself? I'm sure you. Well, actually, I don't want to answer this for you, but I feel like you would. Do you see yourself being an active member in like the breast cancer community, like being a mentor to somebody, like, or is that already organically happening? Because I know people have been reaching out to you.
Yeah, I definitely, I guess like you could say that I'm in the breast cancer community online, like on TikTok. I would, I, I feel like I've kind of established a place. Um, but I really do want to actually help mentor people. I have been thinking about that lately. I've just kind of been waiting till I'm like a little bit further out until I have like my next surgery mainly. But I actually have a ton of stuff that I want to give away. Because I want other people, there's no need for it now for me. So I want other people to like,
What is it? What kind of stuff?
so I have like my chemo bag, which technically can I find a use for this stuff? Most of it, yes. But
Like a
honestly,
duffel bag that you
yeah, it's like
pack?
a pink duffel bag. I got like pink everything when I was diagnosed. Pink duffel bag, a pink heated blanket because I was cold capping and so I was like freezing during chemo. Um,
What's that like? I don't know. Is that a too much
like
question?
chemo.
No, cold
Oh,
capping.
cold capping. So on one hand, at first it didn't really feel that bad. And I had Benadryl during chemo, so it knocked me out. But then it really started to get tough. And some days I would have like horrible,
Is
horrible
it
headaches because
is
it
it
was like
like
freezing.
I like can
Yeah, it's
what
like
is it like?
ice.
It's
It's
just
like,
ice on your
it's
head.
a, well, there's different types of cold capping, but the one that I did, Paxman, it's a cap and you plug it into a machine and it gets freezing cold. So like when I would take it off, there would be ice on my head.
Oh
Unless,
my
I mean, you're supposed
gosh.
to leave it on until like
And
the ice
it kept
melts,
all of your
but
hair? Like it was effective?
I kept, I would say, 80% of my hair. If you can like kind of see, you see where these like little short hairs are?
Mm-hmm.
I was balding there.
Oh, okay.
But for the most part, I kept most of my hair, but a
Yeah.
lot of people don't. My eyelashes and my eyebrows all fell out
Oh, they did?
and they started to like shed again, but they grew
Really?
back pretty quickly.
Yeah, because I feel like I wouldn't have ever known you went through that.
Yeah,
So they came back
they
fast.
came
Well,
back pretty
how long has it
fast.
been since your last chemo?
I think now it's been 2 months.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah,
So it's that's
it
like
grew
a
back
sign
pretty
of your
fast.
body is going back to healing because it's regenerating faster.
Yeah, everyone's different. Like some people takes them longer.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people that still lost most of their hair even with cold capping, and so I'm very very grateful that it worked well for me. Um, and again, it's just helped me keep that sense of normalcy. Um, but yeah, so going back to what I was saying before, I have just a lot of like pink, like a pink sweatsuit or sweat set, pink fuzzy socks, pink this, pink that, and stuff that have helped me through chemo. That A, I want someone else, I want it to go to good use, but
Mm-hmm.
B, it's actually very traumatic seeing it in my house or in my
Mm.
closet. I just one day was like, I'm never going to wear my pink sweat set again because I would wear it almost every single time to chemo. And I
Mm.
did 12, wait, no, I did 14 chemo sessions. So
Wow.
it's interesting. A lot of things will trigger you,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
It was it was a traumatic experience. So I have to just get rid of that stuff for my own peace of mind, but I want to find someone online that's in South Florida because I don't want to like it's kind of a lot, so I don't want to have to ship it all. But I will drive you know, like up to an hour, hour and a half to give it to someone because I really want it to go to good use. And I do want to start mentoring people. So, if someone reaches out and they're in within an hour's drive of me and they need someone to go to chemo with them, like I want to be there for them. I want to help people, and I'm not a doctor. I can't give medical advice. I can only say what's helped me through everything. And again, I want to emphasize that everyone's journey is different. Everyone has different side effects. So, people ask me questions and I just try to like, I tell them my journey, but I try to always say like, everyone's journey is different. Everyone has different side effects. Everyone has a different experience. Um, but yeah,
Yeah. Oh, Allie, I loved having you. I could ask you a million questions and have this go on for hours and hours. I truly admire you. That's coming from my heart.
thank you.
I believe this is going to be a turnaround great year for you. I think that you travel, be around your mom, be around your sister, do all the things you love. The right person's going to come into your life because you've already been through some serious shit that like at this point the right guy. It's got to be the right guy. Like,
Yeah.
don't even
Yes.
tolerate the
Yeah.
wrong guy.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even think anymore. Like, oh, are they gonna like not like me because I can't do? Fuck that. Like, don't
Yeah.
get that out of your head. Who cares? The right people won't even be conversating with you. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just trust in that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing things are gonna. You're so strong. Keep doing what you're doing. I can't wait to see your community build. Keep creating. You really are like a very special person. Not everybody is
Oh,
like you. I've always said this from years ago, so I believe it. I
you're
believe
so
it.
sweet.
So thank you so much.
Yeah.
And if anybody wanted to follow you, what is your handle that they could follow you on?
Yes, my TikTok, I recently took my last name off of TikTok just because I'm applying for jobs. I'm like, oh, maybe I should adjust that. So right now my TikTok is Ali_B_yappin, like Ali B Yappin, ALI. And then my Instagram is Ali_Embry, EMBRY. And if you want to check out my music, I really haven't been making music lately, obviously with everything, but it's just Ali Embry on Spotify, Apple Music, all the things. And I do agree with what you were saying. Like, I will say, going through cancer makes you realize how important the important things in life are, like your health, your friends and family, but it also shows you how unimportant the unimportant things in life
Mm-hmm.
are. Like, certain things I will not tolerate, certain things with men too. I'm like, I did not fight and beat cancer
A
just to
hundred
sit
percent.
here with a dusty ass guy who's gonna
Ew,
be, you know what I
yeah.
mean?
Get out of
Like,
here.
so
Yeah.
I truly, and I'm at the point where I'm like, I'm starting to like, I'm open to dating right now, but I'm just like not putting too much effort into it because I'm like, it's just like, I'm just living my life right now. And I think that, the right person will walk into my life when the time is right. And I don't think I've ever truly felt that in my life
Mm-hmm.
until now.
Mm-hmm.
And I truly believe that the best is yet to come. And I asked God and the universe for a big change in my life at the beginning of last year. And I didn't realize I needed to be more specific when I said that. But I truly believe that this was meant to happen, for me at least, to get me to the next step in my life and to have an influence and an impact and to help other people. And I'm here for it,
Yeah.
And thank you so much for having me on. And I love sharing my journey and, connecting with others. So thank you so much.
Of course. I'm going to have you back. So hopefully you come back.
I will. I'll always come back.
All right.